This is Epstein's butler, okay? He was his butler for 18 years. He is now coming forward. Now, the first thing about this article that is hilarious is look at this image, guys. Look at this picture. Look at what Epstein is wearing, guys. Like, I looked at this and I'm like, bro, this can't be real. There's no way that this can be real. It's an IDF fucking sweatshirt, bro. So, you know how Epstein got arrested? He was in Paris, okay? He flew back to America and he landed at 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 Airport in New Jersey, and he got arrested as he got off his plane on the tarmac. If this photo was taken between Paris and 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏, he was arrested in an IDF sweatshirt. Like, come on, bro. What is going on, dude? They say that this photo is real, that they actually were given this photo, but he's wearing a fucking IDF sweatshirt. Now, right? I mean, really? Now, did he wear this purposely? Did he wear this knowing it was going to stir the pot? Like, why was he wearing this? I mean, nobody ever asked him. We're not seeing this photo until after his death. But this is pretty wild. It's certainly not going to make the conspiracy theories any less prevalent. Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein loved life too much to kill himself and was confident of securing bail before he died. So 𝗙𝗪𝗃𝗍𝗍, who ran Epstein's Paris home, told the Telegraph he could not accept the official verdict of suicide and feared that his own life was in danger. So the butler who took care of Epstein's Paris house does not believe it was a suicide, and he feels like his own life is at risk. He also said he believed that Virginia Giuffre, the one who accused Prince Andrew of rape and died by suicide, he believes she was foul play as well. Now, I myself have some wondering about Virginia Giuffre. And I mean, it's not just her, guys. It's Ivana, it's Epstein, it's Jean-Luc Brunel, it's Virginia Giuffre. There's another Russian model that had levied some claims against Trump that died mysteriously. I mean, there's the Roy Black, the lawyer. You know what I mean? There are just a lot of deaths that have happened around this case. And like I said, when I assemble them all, we're going to take a look at the entire outlay of the people close to this case who have committed suicide or died mysteriously. And it is wilder than you know. Mr. 𝗙𝗏𝗏 also made the extraordinary claim to the Telegraph that Epstein told him he had been offered a job by Donald Trump in the 2016 admin, but he had turned it down. Now, this is a little bit of a bombshell for the butler to be saying that Trump offered Epstein a job. I know that sounds not believable, but there have been accounts of Epstein during Trump's first term where Epstein had divulged a lot of the inner workings of the Trump admin. It was pretty obvious that Epstein and Trump were still talking to each other about the daily behind the scenes shit, because Epstein had knowledge of shit that was beyond what was being released in the papers. So I think it's believable that Trump offered him some type of position. I think it's entirely believable. I mean, he put the guy who let him off into the cabinet, so there's no reason he couldn't have offered Epstein some type of ambassadorship, maybe, related to the Virgin Islands or something. You know what I mean? And maybe that was an attempt to bring him under control. Okay. I mean, Trump had no idea that the Miami Herald reporters were going to go and rehash this story. Nobody did, right? When they came out with their book and those bombshell exposés. I mean, if it hadn't been for those Miami Herald reporters, we wouldn't even be here. So talk about the wonders of the free press. There's no evidence that allegation is true, and Trump has maintained he stopped speaking to Epstein in 2004 after they fell out over a business deal, but we also watched Trump change his story on that to about Virginia Giuffre. But Mr. 𝗙𝗏𝗏's recollection of a conversation with his boss will fuel a growing demand for the Epstein files. Of course, we want these. Everybody wants these. And guys, here's the poll. This Epstein situation is one of the few ways that all of America is united. Everybody wants these files. Now, I don't know how many of these people would like turn tail on MAGA and the Republican Party. Probably zero. I feel like the independents could be moved by this, but everybody wants to know. And the victims are really getting hungry. In his exclusive interview with the Telegraph, Mr. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆, speaking on the record for the first time, also alleged that Prince Andrew visited Epstein in Saint-Tropez, along with a British photographer famous for taking pictures of naked girls and accused of having sex with a 13-year-old. So there we go. He's alleging that Prince Andrew had another connection, okay, with Epstein and other girl abusers. Prince Andrew was a frequent guest at Epstein's Paris townhouse with royal protection bodyguards paid for by the British taxpayer. Dude, wait till you see his Paris apartment. Was sick, bro. I mean, this guy's a disgusting piece of shit, and we're glad that he's dead, and we should burn all the people that were involved with him. But the motherfucker had some taste in apartments. I gotta hand it to him, because when you see the pictures of his Paris apartment, dude, it is badass. Or his designer, whoever like interior designed his places, like this guy in Paris, this shit was gnarly. And here's another one, dude. Ghislaine Maxwell was the authoritarian boss who gave the orders in the Epstein household. And this is a big one, guys. Again, you know, if you watched today's video on the channel, you saw it was about that Princess Diana. And we are now realizing that Ghislaine Maxwell was the linchpin. She was the connection to royalty, to Prince Andrew, to all of the levers of power. Okay, and more we're hearing that she was kind of the boss. And Epstein was just jerking off a lot, okay? He was just a addict that was getting fed a constant stream of teen girls. But I think Ghislaine Maxwell was the actual ringleader. And I think Donald Trump and Jean-Luc Brunel and these modeling agency guys had a lot more to do with it than we know at this point. And Epstein gave money to Woody Allen to finance one of his movies, which is like, that's a little on the nose too. Because Woody is a degenerate fucking, you know, child rapist. Okay, Woody Allen, he is, dude. It's too bad too, because he makes some really good movies. But what a fucking piece of shit. But yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. I've thought about the possibility that Epstein is alive, but I don't know about that. I feel like it'd be safer him being dead. You know what I mean? I don't think they'd have a reason to keep him alive. I think him being dead is actually makes a lot more sense. Mr. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆 remains in possession of a number of photographs taken with friends of Epstein, including a photo of himself with Bill Clinton on the Lolita Express. So there's the butler, way younger with Clinton, dude. Dude, there's no way, bro. Oh, Jesus. The existence of the photo showing Clinton on board Epstein's jet will also fuel demands for Clinton. And again, I have no problem with Clinton going down, bro. If Clinton's guilty of something, dude, off with his nuts, bro. I have no problem. We can put him away. There's no problem with that at all. Clinton was issued a subpoena demanding he give evidence to a congressional committee. Now, they're going to try, and I believe they're going to issue subpoenas to Bill and Hillary Clinton, because they're going to try and make this like a monkey trial. Comer is. They are. The Oversight Committee, they're going to try to make this a Democratic thing while they insist that everything about Trump is not credible. But I think, dude, Trump is going to get caught in the crossfire. But Mr. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆 is insistent that Epstein would have never killed himself. Epstein had told him he was planning to negotiate with the judge in a case to secure bail, having been held in custody as a possible flight risk. But see, now this is a little bit inconsistent, because Epstein had been denied bail, and there was no way Epstein was getting bail in this case. I mean, he's absolutely a flight risk. He absolutely, like, there was no way in hell that Epstein was going to get bail. Like, not a chance. Not a chance. There's just no way. He said he recalled seeing Epstein for the last time. He said Epstein was relaxed, had been talking about making more investments in the islands. He had bought a second island. By the way, Epstein had bought a second island that was just a little bit from Little St. James. But we also know that Epstein bought that second island because it was the escape valve some young women did try to swim off of Little St. James. And so Epstein bought the nearest island. That was the only thing they could swim to if they tried to escape. I mean, dude, this is some grungy shit, dude. This is grungy shit. Mr. 𝗙𝗧 remains fiercely loyal to Epstein and insists he never saw his boss cavorting, let alone having sex with underage girls, which we know Epstein was deeply involved in this. So obviously this guy saying, hey man, he never did this. I mean, we know he's lying, or maybe Epstein kept it from him. I don't know. But he said young women were hired to give Epstein massages and to cut his nails. The girls did that to him, but it stopped there. So this guy is definitely living in denial. Now, look at the Paris apartment, though, dude. Look at that thing. Dude, look at that pad, bro. Oh, my God. Dude, this is like... I love this. I love this apartment, dude. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, you're right. Girls massaging him. There's no reason you'd be getting a massage from a fucking teenage girl, dude. Unless you're a teenage boy, there's no way you're getting a massage from a teenage girl. You know what I mean? There's no way. Now, obviously, you know, I mean, to me, there is some believability with Epstein that if he was going to be doomed to a life of imprisonment, that, you know, he would feel suicidal. Okay? It's believable to me because this guy was not going to do well, like being locked up in jail with no celebrity, no money, nobody to impress, no constant stream of young girls. In all likelihood, he would get banged out by some big hairy ass dude on fucking D Block. You know what I mean? And not only that, guys, we must remind everybody that dudes like Epstein who take advantage of children, they don't do well in prison, guys. Okay? There is a code. You know, my dad was in prison, and there is a code in prison that is like the people who fuck with kids, they don't do well, guys. They take a fucking beating. And Epstein was not a guy who was going to stand up to that code. I mean, yeah, no, dude, this fucking apartment is pretty badass, bro. Oh shit, bro. Dude, it's like a giant headboard, bro. I love it. All right. I'm crazy like that, though. No, I would only have legal and above board sex in an apartment like this. I promise you, right? That's what it should have been used for. This bastard, he wasted a fucking perfectly good house. Maxwell introduced Epstein to Prince Andrew, and Mr. 𝗙𝗧 recalled first serving the Duke of York along with the late disgraced British photographer David Hamilton at a property in St.-Tropez. Now, this is the person they talked about in the beginning of this, right? Which is this guy right here, where it said that Epstein and Prince Andrew went to St.-Tropez with the British photographer who had been busted for sexing up young girls. That's this guy. Also a suicide. The presence of Hamilton is ironic, given that he died by suicide in 2016 following allegations he had abused underage models that he was photographing. They came after decades in which he was feted for his semi-erotic, soft-focus shots of mostly girls in their early teens, which he said depicted a lost paradise, man. These guys were so creepy. All of these guys that were running in this Epstein, Trump, Virgin Islands, modeling, like, teen abuse circle, they're all dying by suicide, guys. That's a little weird, okay? That is a little weird, guys. All of them, right? Just one by one. He did meet Clinton once on the plane, but never saw him at the island or anything like that. And it was when Clinton was traveling with Kevin Spacey, Maxwell, and Epstein himself. And also present was a 21-year-old masseuse, Shantae Davies, who later testified that she was raped and abused by Epstein. This person, it's actually Tiala Davies who he's talking about. And here's a picture of Epstein and her together. So Shantae, but her name is 𝗙𝗟𝗪, and she was another teenager that was involved with Epstein that had been, you know, connected to him for years. This is her like flying his helicopter with him. She was very much on the island. She did come forward with Gloria Allred as part of the suit. So that's who he's talking about, 𝗙𝗟𝗪. So she was, I guess, on the plane when 𝗙cie, Maxwell, and Clinton were there. Yeah, there's deep connections. Here is Ghislaine Maxwell and Kevin Spacey at fucking Buckingham Palace. We know Kevin Spacey is obviously a creeper. Here's Ghislaine Maxwell and Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton at Buckingham Palace. I mean, dude, these guys are all deeply connected. I mean, these guys were all part of the con. He says Epstein laughs in front of the painting he bought of Mr. Clinton in red high heels and a blue dress. Okay, so this was supposedly the dress that Monica Lewinsky was wearing, and the heels sort of also looking very Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, this Bill Clinton painting. This is a weird fucking painting. Let's see what we got. Here is Epstein with Woody Allen. Oh, fuck, bro. Look at those two fucking creeps. So police search of the Paris home by the French police yielded nothing. Some new photos on the wall, along with photos on the mantelpiece of Epstein and a bunch of famous people. Fidel Castro, Pope Jean Paul II, Trump, Clinton, Allen, the Sultan of Dubai, a wealthy Saudi person. The police came in with machines. They were scanning the walls and floors, looking for hidden cameras. They were there for, it looks like, 14 hours. They found nothing. He said the house contained numerous pictures of Miss Giuffre and Prince Andrew. He said there were lots of photos of Virginia in Paris, though. That's really interesting. And the French police took all the photos of Virginia Giuffre. Now, I don't believe we've ever seen those. Prince Andrew, of course, has denied wrongdoing. And there you go. Dude, crazy. Yeah, I mean, dude, this photo is just so creepy, right? Because again, guys, the thing that is really creepy about this picture is simply this. The fact that there is no reason, okay? There is no reason under the sun why a girl who, Ghislaine Maxwell met this girl as a spa attendant at Mar-a-Lago. There is no reason a 16-year-old spa attendant from Mar-a-Lago that gets, like, you know, a job from Ghislaine Maxwell would be in Ghislaine Maxwell's flat in London with Prince Andrew dressed like this, hanging out in such an overtly familiar sort of like college frat party kind of way. It's just unheard of. You know what I mean? This guy would never be fraternizing with a 16, 17-year-old spa attendant from, you know, West Palm Beach, Florida. A poor girl, right? There's just no way, dude. That's not how high society works, guys. Okay? That is not how high society works. There is no normal circumstance where a 16-year-old spa attendant from Mar-a-Lago from a poor side of West Palm Beach, Florida would end up hobnobbing with Prince Andrew. Not a chance. In 2001, yeah, it's 1 year after meeting her. Dude, there's no way, dude. Not unless Virginia Giuffre was like her fucking personal assistant. And if you were hiring a personal assistant, it wouldn't be a 16-year-old towel girl from Mar-a-Lago. Like, if Ghislaine Maxwell hired an assistant, it would be a high society person for starters, okay? Because in order to exist in Ghislaine Maxwell's world, you had to be very familiar with high society. There is like a super systematic etiquette that is involved with high society people that there's no way a Palm Beach yokel would be a high-ranking, like, employee of a socialite that existed in that high society. Like, there's no way. She would hire somebody who was very well versed in all of that high society etiquette. It is like so important. That shit will get you like excommunicated. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. I mean, it sounds trivial, but you don't understand how like the rules that govern the behavior in that world. Yeah, no, I know. She doesn't even know what fork to use. Dude, she's a one fork. She's a one fork girl. She's like me, bro. I'm a one fork guy. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.